to day 2 of our field trip here in the North Woods of Minnesota, right on the border of Superior National Forest, which is part of the world's boreal forest, otherwise known as Taiga. Oh, you gotta see the view from my hotel room. Isn't it amazing? So if you didn't watch the first episode, you gotta go do that. We went up in a helicopter and we learned all about like trees and geocaching. I have been reading this book by Helen Hoover. It's called A Place in the Woods, all about like her adventures with bears and wolves and deer. And I found out that only a few hours north of here, there's a museum called the Chippewa Museum that actually has an exhibit dedicated to her with a lot of like her original books. After that, we're gonna meet some wolves.
Hello. My name is Helen Hoover. In the 1950s, I was working as a metallurgist in Chicago. A metallurgist is a scientist who specializes in metals such as iron, steel, aluminum, and copper. After a vacation to the North Woods of Minnesota, I decided to leave my job in favor of a simpler life. I moved to a log cabin in the forest with my husband, Aid. It was very difficult to survive at first, especially since Aid and I refused to hunt animals for food. We almost died the first winter, but we survived, and I went on to write many popular books about my experience living off of Minnesota's Gunflint Trail, including my many observations about the wildlife in this region. Here's a passage from my book, The Gift of the Deer, recounting the morning after I heard wolves chasing a fawn in the night. The fawn was gone. Scattered on the trodden and moiled snow surface were tufts of hair, splinters of bone, and bright scarlet patches of frozen blood. The tracks of the two wolves led away across the lake, walking, then trotting, heading for the far shore. The larger forepaw tracks, presumably those of a male, were 6 inches long, and his slow, trotting stride was 34 inches. No wonder this big and powerful animal had stirred atavistic fears in me when he had passed, shadowless, just beneath the window where I watched. From the size of their tracks and the depth in the snow layer on the ice, I estimated their weights to be, respectively, about 130 and 90 pounds. They were giants among Minnesota timber wolves. As the snow began to blur the tracks and turn the view to the north into white nothingness, a howl drifted to me on the rising wind, to be joined almost at once by another lighter voice. The same wolves? Perhaps. I imagined them, deep inside the shifting snowfall, heads up, ears cocked, bushy tails flowing behind them, as their long legs made light of the hilly miles, hunting, always hunting, in their phase of the struggle for existence.
So we are on the Gunflint Trail road right now, which is actually this 57-mile stretch of road that connects all of these different areas within Superior National Forest. And this is actually how Helen and Aid got to their cabin. I think it was maybe a dirt road at the time though. They had to chop down their wood, they had to grow a garden. A bear tried to get into Helen's house. They were basically in Minecraft survival mode, which is insane. We just passed this like huge lumber yard with all of these chopped down spruce. Smells like Minecraft.
We just pulled off on the side of the road because we passed a bald eagle eating a deer carcass on the side of the road, which I'm oddly excited about. Welcome to Minnesota, I guess.
Oh, this is it. This is the Helen Hoover exhibit. These are all of the first editions. You can see like that's her husband's signature down there because he did all the illustrations.
Charlene Letourneau.
Yes.
And your mother was a friend of Helen's.
Yes, she was.
And you actually knew Helen.
I knew Helen, and I visited her in her cabin. And Aid, yes, yes. Aid was probably the more personable of the two because she was always busy writing. If there was an animal around, Helen tamed it. They had a pet ermine there at one time.
And then you live up here full time. Have you ever had any interesting experiences with wildlife? Have you seen a wolf?
Oh yeah, the wolves come right in the yard every winter.
Really?
In fact, last winter they took all the deer. I've never been afraid of anything in these woods. I've run into bears and wolves. The moose are probably the most dangerous. And then I had an otter. I raised an otter.
Really?
Yeah. We live right on kind of close to the water. And it was winter. She came right up to the house and put her paws on the window, and then you could see this awful bite mark on her side. So we kept putting food out, and pretty soon I was able to open the door on our solarium, and she came right in the house and she'd sit on my lap. I named her Stanley. As spring came and the snow was melting, she looked at that lake and she left. And that was the last I ever saw of her.
In Minecraft, it's so easy. You just walk up to a tree and you punch it, and that's how you get your firewood. And you go up to a wolf and you give it a bone, and then it's your pet. And I just don't think that's not really realistic at all.
Oh, no.
I really can't thank you enough, though. There you go. Go underneath. Yeah, this is the one I don't have. It goes with my other one. They're matching. Thank you. That was so cool getting to see like all of the first editions and talk to Charlene. Like she actually had wolves in her front yard.
I want to introduce like my camera crew very quickly because I haven't done that yet. So this is going to be like camera inception. This is Will, camera guy Will, sound guy John, and producer guy David.
We're gonna actually go see some wolves now, but hopefully from a safe distance behind some safety glass.
We are at the International Wolf Center. This is a Minecraft dream come true. I can't believe I'm about to meet a wolf pack.
Oh my gosh, they're huge. Ooh, what's he got? He is eating a deer rib cage. We've seen a lot of deer carcasses on this trip so far. How many wolves do you have here?
We have 5 wolves in this enclosure. Their names are Axel, Grayson, Aiden, Denali, and Bolts. In this enclosure, we have the Arctic subspecies, which is Axel and Grayson, but we also have the Northwestern subspecies, which is Aiden and Denali. And then finally, we have Bolts. He's the Great Plains subspecies. That would typically be found around here in Minnesota.
And is there a top dog here?
Aiden is our dominant male in this enclosure. His brother Denali is second ranking. That's quite interesting to a lot of people because Denali is bigger than Aiden. It's not always about size and prowess, it's about psychology.
Yeah.
Aiden has the right psychology to lead this pack.
Do they like it when it snows?
They do very well in winter. Their primary food up here is white-tailed deer and other ungulates like that. So this is a white-tailed deer hoof. They tend to sink through the snow quite easily with these sharp, hard hooves. This is a cast of a wolf's paw, and you can see the main pad here. You can see the individual digits. And in between these digits, you can actually see there's a bit of webbing. It's called interdigital webbing. That allows the animal to move through the snow more easily. They don't sink so easily as, say, a white-tailed deer.
Like a snowshoe?
Absolutely.
Now, you didn't know this wolf, did you?
No.
Okay.
This was donated to us for educational purposes. They have 2 layers to their coat. They have these long guard hairs, these horse hairs that are on top. That gives them their pelage, gives them their camouflage. That's on them year-round, so that protects them year-round. But if you push that to the side, you can actually see these gray, sort of softer, fluffier fur. That's the underfur. These animals are warmer in the winter because of this fur. So these animals, they do get once a week feeding with a deer carcass or several beaver.
Once a week?
Once a week. So in the wild, they may catch prey maybe once every 7 to 10 days. And that's how their digestive system has evolved. So we help to accommodate that and help to replicate that by feeding a primary meal once a week.
Wolves like to travel in packs of 5 up to as many as 30, and their sense of smell is 100,000 times greater than humans. In good conditions, they can smell something a mile away. And like Cameron said, their interdigital webbing on their paws allows the wolves to catch up to their prey, especially in snowy conditions. Their bite strength is 1,500 pounds of pressure per square inch, and after they make their kill, the alpha is usually the first to eat. Luckily for us, wolves will usually avoid humans unless they feel threatened. That said, if you do encounter a wolf in the wild, don't try to tame it like in Minecraft.
Being that these animals are crepuscular, that means that they're very active at dawn and they're very active at dusk.
When do they howl? Can we hear them howl?
Well, they usually howl very late at night. We do sometimes try to replicate that a bit by going out on howling safaris. That's a trip where we take people out on our bus and we go out to the local North Woods out here and try to howl and see if we get a response from a wild pack.
Oh my gosh, and so a wild pack might actually howl back at you?
Would you be interested?
Yeah, I want to do that.
That was incredible. We just finished at the Wolf Center meeting the pack. It was nuts. I mean, some people are probably like, why didn't you meet the wolves? But I got close enough. Like, you know, they don't want to meet me. It's more respectful to the wolves, I think. Okay, it's later and we're back at the Wolf Center to howl at the wolves. I'm here with Cameron and he's gotten the howler. It's the name of the bus.
Wolves have much better hearing than us, so we could be howling to them, they may be hearing us and responding to us, and we may not hear it. So in general, the higher pitch, the more friendly, lower pitch, the more threatening. So I'm gonna howl by myself first, and we'll see if we get a response from that.
Okay, good luck. I'm gonna try to do a howl.
We can do it.
Okay, so neither my or Cameron's howls got the other wolves to howl, so now we're all gonna howl as a pack. Nothing tonight. That's okay though. How was my howl?
It was excellent.
Really?
I kid you not, it was excellent. So
That was so much fun. I cannot believe that we got so close to the wolf pack at the center, and then we got to howl for real wolves. I don't even care if they didn't howl back. That was amazing. This entire day has been a Minecraft dream come true for me, filled with wildlife. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're gonna do one more here in the Taiga region of the Superior National Forest, and we're gonna go tour an iron mine. So anyway, we'll see you guys. It's freezing, so I'm gonna go. Stop filming, Will.